all. My name is Anjani Srivastava and welcome to the channel. So in previous two videos we have discussed about the basics of C programming language and what are the key concepts that are available in C programming language. And now we will discuss in this video about the input and output in C. Input and output. So everyone knows like what a computer do. Mainly three functions of any program which we develop. There are mainly three functions. It takes in some input, it processes, and then it produces some output. So basically these three functions is done by any program. So generally in C programming language, first of all, in any C program we have to include one library function that will be our hash include stdio.h. So let us first understand what this is. This hash include means we are telling the compiler like you have to include all the stdio.h. See, any file have some extension. Like if you have any document file, then it must have the .docx, .doc or .pdf, .exe file. So these are some of the extensions of the file. So similarly here we have stdio.h. stdio means standard input output. So please remember here standard input output. So we are telling the we are including all the standard input output functionalities has been already been implemented in this stdio.h file. So we are including this in our program, so that any of the functionalities which we use in this program, any of the keyword, so that's definition is written here in this stdio.h. So I hope it is clear. So the first line will be this hash include stdio.h, and then we will declare some variables here, like we can write int a equal to 20 and then semicolon. See, each and every line of a program ends with a semicolon. Here I am demonstrating it using the board, but in tomorrow's video we will be looking this at our code editor. So let's do this. Let's understand it here first, and then we have how we can read some input. So to read input, we have one function called scanf in C. With the help of scanf, we can input some values through the keyboard from the user. So the format of scanf will be like, first we will write scanf, and then the small bracket starts, and then here we will write the access modifier. Yes, we will write here the access modifier. So if we write here %d, and then we will close it, and then comma, in which variable we want to store that value. So if we want to store it in a, so it will be like this. So let me explain it once again also. If we declare one variable here like int a, and then this line, so please understand here very carefully. It is the first line, it is the second line. So no, it should be our So here let us assume like it is our first line, it is our second line, it is our third line in our program. So please understand it very carefully. In first line we are including all the standard input output functions available in the stdio.h file. So anything which we include in this program is whose definition is already been written in the stdio.h. So in this second line we are declaring one variable a whose type is int. That means we are storing one integer type value, any numeric value that may be positive or negative or 0, that should be stored in a variable. I think it is clear now. And then in the third line, since we have in memory we have declared one space whose name is a, but we have not filled any value yet here. So how we can get that value? Via user. So how we can get the value from the user? We use the word scanf, 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 and then scanf, and then the curly and then the small bracket starts, and then we have to write %d. In if we want to input any integer, then we write %d. If we want to input any float, we write %f. In the next slide I will show you. Like if we want to %d for integer, %f for float, %s for string, %c for character. So I hope it is clear. If we %lf for long float, that can be also called long double. No, long double is not there, that is the double. So please understand here there is not any distance of s. So if we write %d, it is for integer, %f for float, %f for string, %c for character, %lf for long float or double. So in the previous video here, in case of %d, if we want to store any float value, so we write %f here, for character %c here. So I hope it is clear. So let me tell you with one more example also. So I hope it is clear. See, if we want to scan any character, so %c, comma, and then the variable where we want to store that variable. So I think I can write var name. So var name should be declared here like char and then var name. I hope it is understood. Why char name and then c? Because it is of character type. That is why it is termed here as var name. So for and %c means it only inputs only one character. And suppose we want to input multiple values. Suppose we want to input two values, like two integer values. So simply we can write scanf and then %d for 1, and with the help of a space then we write %d and then and a comma and b. Sorry for in all these video, in all these examples I have forgotten, my pardon. Here we have to write ampersand symbol. I will discuss it why I have written ampersand here. So in all of these, in scanf we have to write the ampersand symbol here everywhere. So ampersand a and ampersand b we have to written. So these two percentage d means it will accept two integer type values. If we want to input 3, then we have to write percentage 3 percentage d 3 times. If we want to store one integer and one character, so that is also simple, percentage d for integer and then percentage c for character. It is also very perfectly working. So I think it is very much clear to each and everyone. Its demonstration I will show in the next video. And for printing values, these all things are for inputting the values, and for printing the values, like displaying output. For displaying the output, so here we will discuss about how we display the values or anything on the computer. So very simple function is there. For input we have the scanf function. For output we have the printf function. We have printf function. Please mind here, this p is small, not capital. So it is case sensitive, and everything here is in the lower case, that is the small letters of English alphabet. So printf, and then if we want to display any sentence or any string, we should not use sentence from now onwards. We should use the string, because I have already explained, like string is what? The collection of words, that is termed as a string in computer language. So please mind here. And in printf we will write this double quotation mark opening, and then we will write you are happy. After this, and then the closing inverted comma, closing inverted comma, and then the closing bracket, and then last semicolon. So its output is what? Its output is simply this thing you can see on your computer screen, similarly the way you have written here. And if we want to print any values, so we should write here printf and then the percentage d. I have already explained why we use percentage d. Percentage d is for the integer value. For displaying integer value we use percentage d. For displaying character values we use percentage c, and for displaying string value we use percentage s. So basically this stuff is for input also and for output also. And printf, and then in the inverted comma percentage d, and then we have to close that inverted comma. And here we have not to use the ampersand symbol. Please mind here, in case of scanf we have to use this ampersand symbol, but in case of output we have not to use this scanf, we have not to use the ampersand symbol. We simply have to write here the variable name, var name, and then the semicolon. Like suppose we declare that var name percentage d there, so we have to write integer int var name equal to 35 semicolon. See, each and every line in programming, in C programming, has this semicolon at the end. If not, it must be an error. So please mind here. So what it will print? It will print the value of 35. Its output will be 35. So I think it is pretty much clear, and you all know how we have to display the values. Like suppose if we want to display this string as well as the values also, so how we can achieve that? See, if we write here int length equal to 50, so length value is integer, that is assigning that we have assigned the value of 50. So in printf we have to write this curly this inverted comma starting, and then we write length is. So this same to same will be outputted on the screen, length is, and then percentage d, and then closing inverted comma. So everything inside this inverted comma will be displayed on the screen, but that percentage d will be replaced with the value 50, and then comma. For percentage d we have length, so length we write simply here comma length. So its output is like what? Its output will be on the screen. You can see here length is 50. That's it. Suppose if we want to display all the thing like char na barabar e and float. We have not used float yet. Float val equal to 2.36 suppose. So in the output we want to display these two. So in printf we write values are percentage f and then a space. You can write percentage f and percentage c and then closing. Please see here, values are is simply displayed on the screen. Percentage f will be replaced with 2.36 because of float. Percentage c will be replaced with e, and in the same order we have to order matters here. If we have declared percentage f first, then we have to write val first, val, and then comma na. I hope it is clear. Val stands for percentage f, na for percentage c. If we change this order, then it will display very unnecessary values. So I think it is clear. For the sake of this video, I think it is pretty much easy to understand, and this live demonstration will be shown in the next video. So please stay tuned, and thank you so much for having your support, and please watch these videos and you will be very happy to learn it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.